Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is DeeKeesee and you have tuned into Lit is a Light. As you see, the message for today is going to be about breakthrough. So thank you guys for coming in and watching. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So the message is about breakthrough. And I don't know why I have been like going back and reading like the Old Testament lately. Like I don't even know why. I just kind of been randomly going back and reading the Old Testament, and I stumbled across this scripture and this verse that kind of like got me into like trying to figure out, okay, what does this really mean right now? What does this mean to me? And I remember a while back circling a word from this verse, and it was the word turn. Now, before I even jump into the scripture, just to give you guys a little bit context about what's happening in this passage, I'm mentioning the Israelites. Now, if you haven't watched my so I guess I could say like this is kind of like an addition to what I mentioned in one of my latest videos. I talked about Worth the Wait, and I was coming, I think it was, I don't know. I know I was in the Old Testament, and I was talking about the Israelites and their waiting and the time that they were waiting for the promised land. So this is kind of giving you another look into what's happening with them in this season of them waiting. And so, as I mentioned before, just to give you guys a little bit context what's happening here, pretty much the Israelites have been stuck in this desert, in this dry place, in this dry season, and you know, God has pretty much banned them from going to the land of Canaan. He's only allowed that promised land to be for Caleb and Moses' assistant Joshua, because you know they believe, they had faith in it. But so anyway, because God is such a merciful God, and he's just so, you know, gracious, his grace towards us is just so loving, he ended up speaking to them again, giving them another command on what to do in this season. This is why I want to read this scripture really quickly in Deuteronomy and give you guys a little bit information on what's going on, and break this scripture down and why is this such prophetic right now. So it's Deuteronomy chapter 2 verses 2, and it says, "Then we turned back and set outward the desert along the route to the Red Sea, as the Lord had directed me. For a long time we made our way around the hill of Siri. Then the Lord said to me, 'You have made your way around this hill country long enough. Now turn north.'" And I want to pause right there. And as I mentioned a while back, I read this scripture and I circled the word turn. And so when I came back to it, I was like, why do I have these two, why do I have the word turn circled here? And so I jumped back into it and I started reading more. And I said, you know what, God, this is a season for breakthrough. Like I said, this must be. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to break through. And I believe it, not just for me, but for you guys as well, that God is getting ready to break that thing off that you have been trying to break. You can't break it. It's like a stronghold attached to you. And when I read this, I said, wow, like God is saying that you've been doing this thing long enough. Like I've seen you go around this cycle. I've seen you go around this hill long enough. This is it. I command you now to turn and go north. And when I read this, I felt like this was a breakthrough moment. This was a breakthrough moment for them, because if you look at the text, the word turn means you got to move. You got to move and go in the opposite direction. You have to physically turn your body. And whenever a breakthrough is on the rise, you have to adjust. You have to move. And then when I started, reading this scripture as well, another thing popped in my mind, that a lot of people were saying these things, that we want to experience breakthrough. We want breakthrough. We want God to break the cycles and break these habits. But breakthrough requires obedience. God gave them instructions. God gave them a command to turn. He said, I seen you down here. You've been in this country long enough. You've been going around this hill long enough. And I command you to turn. So how many of us, we want this breakthrough, but are you willing to be obedient? Are you willing to move? You can't experience that breakthrough if you keep on, being stuck in your ways and being stubborn. God is trying to break that. God is trying to loosen you. And I sense that some of us have been already released, but we are keeping ourselves in bondage. We are keeping ourselves in bondage because we're holding on to old dead things. We're holding on. We're staying stuck in the same space. We're staying stuck. We're stuck in our ways. We're stuck in our habits. We don't want to let go of the attachments. We don't want to let go because we're still holding on to our past. And God is saying, you've been doing this long enough. Are you going to be obedient and turn? Are you going to be obedient and trust me? You missed the promise, but God is saying, I'm giving you another. Be obedient and listen. I'm about to break this thing off of you. And now, as I mentioned about breakthrough, I said two things. Again, if you haven't got anything, breakthrough requires movement and it requires obedience. And all that sums up into me saying that it's changing. It's going to change. Once you experience, you're going to be free. You're going to have liberty. You're going to have life more abundantly. So don't be afraid of this change. Don't be afraid of this season that you're walking in. You have to embrace it. You will make this journey very hard if you continue to resist it. If you continue to ignore it. It's going to be very difficult. But God is saying that you've been there enough. Enough is enough. And I'm getting ready to loosen you. I'm breaking this off of you. You are about to receive your breakthrough. Your miracle is now. It's now. My breakthrough is now. Start decreeing and declaring over your life that my breakthrough is now. God, I break the strongholds and the attachments, the people that are not in my life and for me, God. I break it and I bind it now, God. I release them and I allow them to go free and find their good elsewhere. God is breaking you. He's breaking. You're receiving breakthrough, and I feel it right now in this spirit. I feel God saying that. So don't lose hope. Don't get discouraged, because God has a plan, and His plan is, oh my God, His plan is amazing. He's a plan for your life. He has a plan to prosper you, to give you life and life abundantly. So are you going to be able to receive it? You have to receive it. Receive your breakthrough right now and declare it now that it is done. That it is done. Breakthrough is yours. Say that breakthrough is mine. And That's all that I have to say. I hope that this message really touches you and really ministers to your heart. Make sure you guys please go back and read this scripture for yourself, dissect it, and apply it. Apply it to your life. I'm not just going over this just to go over it, but I'm giving you this instruction so that you will be able to make these declarations now and to break these cycles and break these habits, break the strongholds that has been attaching itself to you. God said enough is enough. I'm declaring that I'm commanding that you turn now. Are you going to turn? Are you going to move and be obedient to what God is saying? So thank you guys for tuning in and watching this message. Make sure you guys go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, spread the word, and thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Always remember that lit is a light. You are the light and God is in you. This is DeeKeesee. Peace. See you guys next time here on my channel.